2 years. A lot can happen in that amount of time. We're all on this journey with our lives and with our magic, but there's a lot we can do to affect the outcome of that journey. The question we have to ask ourselves is, where do we want to be 2 years from now? How much growth do we want to experience? They often say that the days are long, but the years are short, and that most people overestimate what they can get done in a year, but underestimate what they can get done in 2 years or more. In this episode of Erudite Magic, I'm going to share with you my best tips for making the most of the days so that at the end of the years, you're where you want to be. If you apply what I'm going to share with you in this episode, you'll see growth in your magic, but not only in your magic, it will also apply to other areas of your life. You may be thinking I'm just going to tell you to read more books, but there's more to it and we'll go beyond just the written word. I mentioned that a lot can happen in 2 years, and a lot has happened. This weekend is actually the 2-year anniversary of Erudite Magic here on YouTube. So I want to share some of these tips through the lens of things that I've learned running a successful YouTube channel about magic books. If we rewind the tape back in May 2020, I was just a guy who had read a book and wanted to talk about it. I'm still that guy, but I have learned and grown so much over the last 2 years. Over 100 videos and 2,400 subscribers later, here we are, and I'm so happy that you're along for the ride. Without you, this whole thing would be impossible. But because of this channel, that's how I know that the tips I'm about to share with you will actually work to help you with your growth. I've applied these tips over the last 2 years and seen a tremendous amount of progress. When I look back, as we will throughout the episode, I've seen a huge jump in not only the production quality, but also the quality of the content. There are over 2,400 of you subscribed to the channel right now, but I still remember it like it was yesterday when I was excited that 20 people wanted to watch my first video. These are definitely going to help you, but before we get into that, I want to share an integral part of my journey, and that is partnership. I've been partnering with Don's Magic and Books since February of 2021, and I feel that this has been one of the best things that I've ever done for all of us as erudite magicians. Don is such a tremendous part of what we're trying to do here to put magic books into the hands of magicians who will use that material at incredibly reasonable prices. Don is a used magic bookstore, which means that he often has those hard to find or completely out of print beauties that you want to hold, read, and apply the rich knowledge from their pages. But not only does Don have used and difficult to find books at great prices, he also has the latest and greatest from the likes of Vanishing Ink, H&R Magic Books, etc. And as always, Don offers a complete refund of your shipping charges if you order $20 or more of media items in the United States. And if you're an international buyer, he has a link on his website to shipit2.com where you can find out the exact shipping charges to your location. A lot of the awesome deals that Don has are limited in their quantity because the book is out of print, and by definition he only has so many of them, so be sure to shop early and shop often at his website to make sure that you find those deals before they're scarfed up. The link to his website is down in the description below, and if you use the code GROWTH this week at checkout, you will save 10% off the lowest marked prices. With incredible deals like that and great customer service to back it up, I guarantee you'll become a regular shopper at Don's Magic and Books. I really hope that over the last 2 years you've gotten as much value as I've intended to give you by watching Erudite Magic. As I reflect on everything we've shared over 100 plus episodes, it's still as exciting to me as it was the day that I started, and I hope that you found it to be rewarding as well. If you've been getting value out of any of the episodes of Erudite Magic, hit that like button for me to let me know that you're getting what you need. I absolutely love the Erudite Magic community that we've built here on YouTube as well as other social media platforms. So as we go through this episode, do me a favor and comment down below with what kind of value you're getting from this episode or any of the others from Erudite Magic and what you might like to see in the future, because I want to continue to grow and help erudite magicians like you to get more into magic books. So comment down below, how can I help you? Without any further ado, here's my first tip to help you grow faster in your magical journey. And that is to get started. Do instead of think. Waiting too long to take action means that what you're about to do may not be relevant any longer. The world around you, as well as yourself, are in a constant state of change. And my experience has shown me that real-world feedback will be your greatest teacher. When you take that to its logical conclusion, what I'm really saying is that you're going to have to start before you're ready. I was totally not ready for the first episodes that I filmed on this channel. When you go back and watch the footage, that's patently obvious. But by putting myself out there, it forced me to improve through the feedback I received. Back when I started, I had no idea what the cadence of my footage needed to be. I didn't know much about the quality. I didn't know much about the entire process. And that's very similar to magic. When you're first starting out, or as you're going along in your journey, there are going to be things that you don't really understand and you feel that you're not ready to start doing yet. That's definitely going to be true for everyone. You're never going to feel completely ready, so you really just have to get into it and recognize that the experience is going to be what's going to help you take the next steps. To further help you as you implement this tip, you need to try to build as you go and commit to a schedule. For me, what that meant is I knew from day one that I wanted to release one video a week. And that's something I'll tell you I'm very proud I've never missed. Since I uploaded my first video on May 10th, 2020, I have never failed to publish a video. There are times that I don't have any ideas for the coming week, but knowing that I've committed to provide value to the erudite magicians out there presses me on, and I know it'll do the same for you. So what does that mean for you? It means you need to perform regularly. I recommend you commit to performing at least once a week. Of course, if you can commit to doing more, well then do it. Perform for anyone who will watch, and then try to solicit some feedback through your observations of what's going on during the trick, or if you're bold enough, ask your participant some clarifying questions. Don't get me wrong, reading and practicing are great. I'm never going to tell you not to do those things. But the ultimate goal is sharing you and your magic with the world. What I said about getting feedback leads me to tip number 2 to help you grow faster in your magic, and that is to get some help. Solicit feedback from people who you respect. Find someone who's ahead of you on the learning curve and ask them for help. That could be as simple as watching a YouTube video and seeking some guidance from that, and determining how that can apply to you. I did that here on this channel by watching videos about production values, about how to tell an interesting story, participating in online forums talking about YouTube growth, and then implementing what I learned to improve my craft. It became a virtuous cycle. This is going to help you because now you're not only learning from your own mistakes, you're learning from other people's mistakes without you having to make those same errors. But a pro tip to really double down on this benefit is to also teach someone who's behind you on the curve. Find someone that you can mentor and bring along with you. Share some of these experiences. If you make a mistake, then tell them about what happened to you. Teaching and sharing with others is one of the surest ways to lock in the knowledge that you have. And if you're helping that person improve their performances, that gives you one more set of data and feedback that you can examine to help improve and grow yourself. Plus, you're starting to expand your network by connecting with people ahead of you on the curve and then the people that they know, plus opportunities to connect with those who are behind you and then their circle of friends. My third tip is to give yourself some grace to be you. To use a baseball analogy, you're typically not going to get a hit your first time at bat. And that's okay. Back when I started this channel, I couldn't believe that there were 20 people who actually wanted to hear what I had to say. Now we're well over 2,000 views a week, over 100 times more than the initial starting point. But along the way, not all of the feedback was positive. Some people aren't going to like the direction that you're headed, whether it's just because it's a personality difference or because they're envious of the growth and success that you have. But when you hear those critics, you have a choice to make. You have to decide if the feedback they're giving goes against what's authentically you. And if that's the case, I believe you need to pursue what is actually a part of you. I was recently listening to a podcast with Dolly Parton, and when she was young, people tried to tell her that she needed to change the way she looked, change her dress, her hairstyle, etc. But she decided that wasn't who she was, and she kept going down that path, trying to find the audience that liked her for who she was. And I think there's a very valuable lesson in there, that it's important to determine who you are through this process we've just described of getting out there, putting yourself out there, iterating, getting feedback from people you respect, and finding an audience that values that instead of going the other way around. Don't find an audience and then try to change yourself to fit what they like. You'll make faster progress and ultimately be more satisfied if you discover who you are and how you can find an audience that values that. To bring it to the magic world, if you're a performer who likes to dress up as, I'll call it, the stereotypical magician with the vest of the card fans and doves and balloons on it, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. If you're into the Vegas glitz and glam with the sequined coats, etc., then that's cool too. If you wear all black to your performances, well, no, it's cool. It's cool. I'm just kidding. Although I really don't understand why people don't wear splashes of color, but that's for a different episode. The point is, figure out what you like and hone in on that. Look, even if you nail your persona, character, audience, and things like that, you're still going to make some mistakes along this journey. And that's totally fine. I know I've made my fair share of mistakes, but if you apply tip number 1 and 2 with this third one, you already have a built-in way to recover. When you make a mistake, you're going to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and move on to the next performance, which, by the way, is already scheduled because you've committed to this process. It's a built-in way to progress. And if you make this mistake, you can talk to your mentor or seek some feedback, go online, watch something, read a book, figure out what went wrong and how you can make a change for that next performance that's coming. And now you have an interesting thing to tell the person behind you about a mistake that they can avoid if you figure out what went wrong. If you apply these 3 tips, I promise that you'll make dramatic improvements. If you improve just 1% with each performance and you commit to perform each week, after a year, you'll be more than 50% better than when you started. And after 2 years, you'll be well over 100% because of the laws of compounding. By the way, if you decide to do even more than once a week, you'll progress even faster. The velocity of your growth is totally up to you and what you can handle with your schedule. But hey, the proof is in the pudding. What do you think? That's always been my goal, to change at least 1% per week. Do you think that Erudite Magic is more than 100% better than when I first started? You tell me. The bottom line is this: you have a unique gift. You can only be you. Everyone else is taken. Magic can be such a rewarding pursuit, both for you and the people in your life. So it's up to us to grow as much as we can and share that magic with others. So get out there, share your magic, and sound off down in the comments below with the growth that you're seeing. As always, my friends, I truly appreciate you watching. It really is thanks to you that we've been going at this for 2 years, and I look forward to many more years to come. Until next time, all my erudite friends, keep reading.